There was a point in my life where I thought that to be considered a serious reader, I had to hit a magic number of 100 books a year. Everywhere I looked, people were sharing their wrap-ups and challenges, proudly hitting that 3-digit milestone, and I thought, if I can't do that, am I even a real reader? The pressure to meet that goal sucked the joy out of reading and turned it into a numbers game. And it made me realise, once again, how much of what we're told about reading is complete rubbish. So today, I'm back with 10 more lies you were told about reading and why it's time to let them go. Lie number 1. If you once fell out of love with reading, you won't ever get back into it again. I know this one personally. After university, I didn't pick up a book for almost 10 years. I was so burnt out from being forced to dissect novels I didn't want to read that I just stopped reading. I'd read the odd non-fiction book here and there, but fiction was just completely out of the question. It took me nearly a decade to rediscover my love for books, and when I did, I realised that the break didn't make me less of a reader. It just meant that I needed time to rediscover what I wanted from reading. When I finally started reading again, I did the best thing for me at the time. I went straight for stories I'd always thought weren't serious enough or literary enough for me to read. Basically, I said goodbye to my weird degree pressure and said hello to satisfying my inner child. I read mostly young adult books to start, and before I knew it, I had my groove back. If you're worried about this happening to you, don't worry. Your love for books is still there, it just might need a little nudge. Lie number 2. If you struggle to read, you shouldn't be reading. Let me be clear. Everyone deserves the access to stories regardless of how they process them, whether it's dyslexia, ADHD, or just preferring a different format. It makes me so sad when someone actually really does want to read but talks themselves out of it because their accessibility needs aren't met. If you want to read, you should be reading. And if this lie is stopping you, then get to it. If, however, it's not the lie stopping you, but it is accessibility, there are a few things you can try. And the people with these specific accessibility needs might be able to offer some more ideas in the comments. Use an e-reader. If you read via an e-reader, you can change the font itself, the font size, line spacing, and text justification. Doing all of this might have a huge impact on your reading comfort. Opt for audiobooks. A lot of people find listening to an audiobook alongside reading a physical book incredibly useful. It helps keep them on track and able to process the book's contents more easily. Source dyslexia-friendly editions of books. I've got a whole video on this topic, but if you can find dyslexia-friendly editions of the books you want to read, it's a good option. Although honestly, these can be quite hard to find. Lie number 3. If you read romance or fantasy, you're not reading real books. This one makes me roll my eyes so hard. Genre snobbery is still such a thing, and I am so over it. Romance, fantasy, sci-fi, horror, they're all real books. Just because a story doesn't fit some outdated idea of literary fiction doesn't mean it's not valuable or beautifully written. People act like you can only be a serious reader if you're reading dense, complicated books, but stories that make you feel something no matter the genre are just as valid. Honestly, some of the most moving and profound books I've ever read were fantasy or romance. They have just as much depth as a literary novel. Lie number 4. You must read the books people recommend or gift you. This one feels awkward, I know. When someone gifts or recommends a book, it feels almost rude not to read it. But listen, your reading time is precious. If you're genuinely not interested, it's okay to say no or save it for later. You don't owe anybody your reading hours. It's like gift giving in general. Just because someone gives you something doesn't mean you're obligated to use it, and that includes books too. If you're really not feeling it, put it aside. You can still appreciate the thought behind the gift without feeling pressured to read it. Lie number 5. You shouldn't dog ear, fold pages, or crack the spine. Okay, I admit it. I don't do any of these things unless you count doing it for the purpose of a video. Sorry. In general, I like my books neat and tidy. No creased spines or bent corners, thank you. But that's just my preference, and it doesn't make it the right way. I even saw a guy fold a page fully in half on a plane once. It hurt to see, but it was his book. So if dog-earing pages or breaking spines make the book feel more personal to you, then go for it. And let's be honest, secondhand bookshops are filled with cracked spines and dog-eared pages. I will still buy it because the story is intact, and a well-loved book just shows it's been enjoyed. Line number 6. If reviews are bad or there aren't many reviews, you shouldn't read it. I'm guilty of this one. Sometimes seeing a book with low ratings or hardly any reviews makes me second guess picking it up. It's like I automatically assume if everyone else hated it, I will too. Or worse, if no one's talking about it, it must not be worth my time. But here's a reminder for me and for you, reviews are subjective. Just because it's seemingly unpopular or the opposite, universally loved, doesn't mean you won't or will like it. Sometimes books have few reviews because they don't fit mainstream taste or whatever is popular right now, but that doesn't mean they're bad. Or maybe they're niche and they haven't reached the right audience yet. Or maybe they just don't have the same marketing budget or support as other books when they're published. I don't know about you, but I miss the days when I would just rock up at a bookstore and pick up an interesting looking book. No checking the reviews, just taking it home. So let's trust our instincts. If it sounds good, give it a shot. We might just find our new favorite book. Line number 7. Indie books are just books that couldn't be traditionally published. This one makes me so frustrated. Self-publishing is a choice and a powerful one at that. Some authors intentionally choose to go indie because they want creative freedom, more control over their work, or just because they're tired of jumping through hoops of traditional publishing. And honestly, some of the most innovative, interesting, and diverse stories come from indie authors because they take risks the traditional publishers might shy away from. Self-publishing has made writing a more accessible creative pursuit for talented people who don't fit within the mainstream publishing industry. So don't dismiss indie books. They're often where you'll find fresh perspectives, and who knows, your next favorite book might just be one of them. Line number 8. Fast readers are better or more accomplished than slow ones. I know I talked about this in the last video, but I think it deserves a deeper look. Guys, I'm not a fast reader. I'm not really a slow reader either. I just am a reader. Sometimes I fly through a book in a day, and other times it takes me weeks to finish one. And that's okay. You see it a lot on social media, people posting about reading 20 books in a month or hitting massive yearly goals, and it makes you feel like speed equals accomplishment. Like the more books you get through, the more impressive you are as a reader. But that just isn't true. Reading fast doesn't make you better, and reading slowly doesn't make you worse. Some books are meant to be devoured in one sitting, while others deserve to be savored and slowly absorbed. Plus, sometimes life just gets in the way. The point is, you could read one book a year or 100, it doesn't make you any less or more of a reader. Line number 9. Fast readers aren't actually reading. On the other hand, people say that fast readers aren't actually reading, they're just skimming the text and jumping through a book without actually absorbing it. But if you're a fast reader, you know that that's not true at all. You're still experiencing the story, feeling the emotions, and getting lost in the world of the book, just at a faster pace. Everyone processes text differently. Some people naturally take in words faster, while others prefer to go slowly and soak in every detail. Neither way is wrong. Speed doesn't determine how much you take away from a book, whether you're racing through it or lingering over every sentence. Your experience is just as valid as anyone else's. Don't let anyone tell you that your way of reading is less than. You're still a reader whether you're fast, slow, or somewhere in between. Line number 10. 100 books a year is the pinnacle of reading success. I don't know where this number came from, but somehow it's become this weird benchmark. Like if you hit 100 books a year, you're the ultimate reader. People who do it get put on a pedestal like they've unlocked some kind of reader achievement. 100 books a year is almost 2 books a week. That's pretty cool. And if someone can do it, that's great. It means they really love reading, or maybe they're a fast reader, a student, or just have more time to dedicate to books. But for a lot of us, that's just not realistic. Maybe you work full-time, have other hobbies, or just don't feel like reading at that pace. And that's fine. The goal should be to enjoy the time you spend reading, not to hit some arbitrary number. Don't let that 100 book standard make you feel like you're not enough. You're a reader because you read. Simple as that. If you love stories, you're a reader. No rules, no guilt, just books that make you happy. So what's the biggest reading lie you've had to unlearn? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time for another video.